There's a moment before the marrow ignites, when muscle remembers its ancestral rights, when fur is not fur but a prophecy seam, and teeth have theology dressed as a dream. I stood at the brink of that widening seam, half man, half hunger, half sovereign scream. The fruit was a pulse in the pit of my spine, a coiled constellation of instinct and sign. Leopard, not costume, not borrowed disguise, but scripture with claws behind both of my eyes. Predator logic, already my creed. Law sheep like talent, justice like speed. If power is natural, mercy a lie, then why should the beast and the man divide? Awakening whispers in tendon and bone. Release what you are, abandon the throne of a self with a name and a face. Let hunger inherit the vacant place. You broke the fang before it consumed me. Split the snare, the fruit had shrunk through me. If I had risen unchallenged the flame, the leopard would have swallowed my name. Without your fist carving doubt in my chest, I would have crowned the instinct and lost the rest. You taught the beast restraint, not mercy. Restraint. Zoan is not gift but amplification. It fattens the roots of your inclination. And what was I long before fur? A verdict that struck like a silent spur. No softness seated in marrow or mind, no tether to anything gentle or kind. If instinct is ocean and self is shore, I was already leaning towards something more. I have seen the jailers' eyes burn thin, bodies of muscle, no person within. Strength without language, command without core, teeth pacing circles across the floor. This is the fate when awakening wins, when the animal leaps through the cage of the skin. It is not madness, it is erosion, identity drowned in a single emotion. You brought the fang before it consumed me, shattered the myth that the beast was only me. Had I ascended without your scar, I'd be nothing but hunger wearing a star. Your defiance lodged like a thorn in my hide, a splinter of doubt I could not excise. You taught the beast restraint, a fracture in instinct state. You taught the beast restraint, at least braided out of fate. Doubt, doubt, doubt. Defeat is not weakness, it is incision. It carves a space between urge and decision. Before you I moved like a single command, no gap between claw and the will of my hand. But when you refused to fracture or kneel, something unfamiliar forced me to feel. Not sympathy, no, but interruption, a glitch in the rhythm of pure consumption. If I had awakened before that blow, before your will refused to bow, the fruit would have found no counterweight, no question gnawing against its state. It would have crowned the leopard king, and silence where my name should ring. Apex instinct unopposed, a man-shaped body, the self-deposed. Now when the marrow ignites in flame, it rises but answers to something named. Not mercy, not kindness, do not pretend, but awareness that power can overextend. You lodged a fissure beneath my spit, a space where the animal does not win. I am still predator, still precise, but I am not only appetite. You broke the fang before it consumed me, cut through the prophecy written through me. If I had awakened its seamless pride, the leopard and I did not soften. Do not confuse control with grace. But there is a line now, a border the claws cannot erase. Without your defiance in bone and breath, awakening would have been a second death. Not of the body, of the self beneath.